All right, this is John Simpson, and this is take one of the POV. We're going to get started. All right. All right. Thank you for inviting me. My name is John Simpson. I'm Business Development Manager for RSC Equipment Rental. In the last couple of weeks, we've had some discussions with a number of folks here in this room, and one happens to be about your rental process, and which brings us here. Thank you for that. I wanted to jump right into this. In talking to each one of you, you pointed out some important things. I could probably list 10. I'm going to take 4 that seem to be very important to the most of you, and then we'll jump from there. First one is safety. Safety, I put it up on top. Nobody really in the room gave me an idea of what was number one, what wasn't. Safety is important. It's important to RSC, it's important to you, and really typically companies like us couldn't work in your plant without emphasizing this area. Who's renting? Really not sure of who's renting sometimes. I've heard stories about either people in the field, people in the office, decisions being made, and then sometimes not even knowing who ordered it and how it made it here. Cost. Some of you guys are concerned about after you have ordered this process, or ordered the equipment, the cost of the equipment. Is it qualified? Is it the right piece of equipment? And then the dollar amount for that piece of equipment, how long you're going to need it for. Okay, accountability. Each one of y'all, I believe, pointed out this concern. You want to know from start to finish who's going to be accountable for the rental process, whether it's on your end or whether it's on our end. And understandably, that's a concern that we live with every day, and sometimes, again, that ends up changing our time management, and it's a very reactive process. In talking to key decision makers, as yourself, we've come to realize that there was a concern with all the companies that we communicated with, that they wanted more visibility, they wanted more accountability, they wanted a system and a process that seemed effortless or streamlined. They wanted factors or tools to help them control some of their costs, drive down costs, improve the productivity, improve the return on their investment or their ROI. Now, 3 numbers here. Texas A&M has provided a survey for us, and in that survey, 82% of the companies surveyed gave us a desired need to increase their utilization. That is, effectively to utilize their equipment more and better. The equipment in return to drive up ROI. All of us would like to be able to drive up ROI in anything that we do. On the other hand, 46% of the companies do not track. Do not track utilization. Now, RSC has done our own survey, and we've come up with some information. 24% of the equipment out on rent is overdue or past due. Of equipment is past due. Now of that, the typical accrual or the typical number of days overdue is 15. Now, these are surveys, and I'm going to point out what they really mean for you guys. Now, while talking to, again, the key decision makers as yourselves and business leaders, procurement, project managers, engineers in the industry, we have come up today with many factors that they've conveyed to us in their ordering process. One is decentralization. While it's a very key element in the ordering process, it also can create some challenges. We have various systems. They're used in many different ways of ordering. They also have many employees. I think you guys have conveyed to us also that you have many employees involved in the ordering process. You have various, or many crafts, excuse me. You got several different craft in the ordering process or to assist them in doing their job. And you've got, just like RSC, you probably got several vendors helping you with your job. Now, what is the result of all of these factors? Well, I believe that in listening to them, they end up renting equipment and ordering too many pieces. In other words, they might rent more than they actually need in their plant. They go past their rental date, usually. And then they use several different systems, as you could tell. And sometimes they are ordering using sticky notes. They're documenting it on legal pads. They're putting it on whiteboards. They actually will put it on a spreadsheet in the computer. Now, some of our folks in the industry talk about that as swivel time. That is the actual going in between manual and mechanical entries on ordering equipment. We've got too much equipment, we rent it too long, and it's much too complex. Now, the result of this ordering process is cost. We're driving up expenses. We're driving up cost. We limit our control and efficiencies that have to do with time management, people management. Which brings me over to here. We effectively don't use our number one resource, which is our people. This, at best, is a fragmented rental process. This fragmented rental process is one that we consider to be very risky. Now, what is the risk to your company or to companies in general that stay in this fragmented rental process? The risk is that you manipulate a potential profit growth and in reducing your cost and your potential growth trajectory. In doing so, you put your company at risk. Now, how do some companies, as yourself, face this dilemma of too much, too long, too complex? Well, a key area is, folks, that think about is price. Well, this element or factor of manipulating and going after exclusively to areas of managing your rental process by price only really impacts the overall process no more than a 1/6 of the percent or the 1/6 of the overall impact. Okay? In doing this, most companies realize that they take themselves into what we call an abyss, the abyss of too much, too long, and too complex. Now, companies that are working and partnering with RSC are looking to bridge this gap. And how are they doing so? Well, first with goal 1, we want to give them insight. What if we were able to give you insight on managing your equipment rental process of having visibility, accountability, and working closely with you guys with our total control system. Only RSC can provide this tool and insight in that manner. Many companies are doing that right now. Our second goal is working with you guys to streamline your processes. What if RSC were to able to partner with you to manage your ordering process? What if we were be able to partner with you to work with you in managing the way that you do business? All right? Not many people do that. It's just give an order, take an order. All right? This way, RSC is right there with you, working with the order process. Third, our third goal is to reduce cost. Obviously, that's a goal of yours, is to reduce cost. What if we were able to give you the tools that would be able to show you scorecards, key performance indicators, areas for you to